Hey guys, how you doing? Today's video is all about revenue streams, specifically for mountain bike YouTubers. I interviewed Andrew, otherwise known as McTrail Rider, who's currently sitting around 15,000 subscribers, probably more by the time this video comes out. We go into YouTube AdSense or YouTube advertising, Patreon, sponsorship and brand ambassadors, merchandising, and a bunch of other stuff. It's quite a long interview, so make sure you grab a coffee, cup of tea, beer, whatever you fancy, sit back and relax, and I hope you get a lot of value out of this.
We're back with Nathan, Sendero Seeker. Those of you who have been following the channel will know exactly who he is. But for the rest of you, Nathan is also a mountain bike YouTuber, and actually he's just been monetized, so he can start making money on YouTube. You're about 1,300 subscribers now, I think? Yeah. So Nathan's got quite a lot of questions for me about, what's it actually like to be a mountain biking YouTuber. So Nathan's going to ask me some questions for himself, but we thought we'd make a video so that we could answer the questions for you guys as well.
Yeah, as Andrew just said, I literally have just been monetized 2 days ago.
Yeah,
I've been monetized.
Yeah.
But it seems to be that it's a goal for a lot of channels who are just starting off. It's got to be monetized. It got to be monetized. I can't wait to be monetized. And as soon as that happens, it's going to be this big explosion of cash coming in, and it's you've made it. I can say now, my first video that has actually been made since the monetization came over, I think it's made me 2 cents so far.
Don't spend it all in one shot.
So a lot of people see you, for those especially who've been following you around, following you for a while, they've seen that you've been sort of touring around Spain in this case, then later Europe in your van, you're not working.
Yeah, that's dead easy.
So you're making a living as a full-time YouTuber. So this conception of, once you've jumped to monetization, it all starts to fall into place. Is that the case? Is that what we should be pinning our hopes on?
Hell no.
No?
No. In fact, even the big guys, BKXC and Single Track Sampler, YouTube-wise, I doubt very much they can do what they're doing now just from YouTube.
So what sort of plays? What number of plays? Like a rough ballpark idea would we need to be looking at to see any sort of relevant?
So basically 1,000 views will get you approximately $1. Now that obviously varies. It depends how long people watch your videos for. It depends if those advertisers can use the videos. There's certain videos that have certain appeals. So if you are reviewing a product, then the advertisers might be looking to advertise that product anyway, so it makes sense to advertise it on a video you've made about their product. Mm-hmm. If that video does well, it gets a lot of views, and people are watching it for over 7 minutes seems to be the key. All right. But definitely over 50%, then these are all variations. So you can maybe make $5 to $6 per 1,000 views if you had a really good video for an advertiser.
That's interesting about the 7 minutes, because I was literally just this morning looking at a debate in a Slack chat I'm in about the length of videos, and my video length. I don't know why, whether this is just watching videos over the years, is my average video length has got to be around 14-15 minutes, and for me it's for me on sort of a normal ride, it's difficult to actually get less than that in. Otherwise, it feels like I'm cutting out even the good stuff.
Yeah.
But these guys were saying, if you're really, really lucky, you'll get a 50% retention rate on that, in a really exceptional case. So therefore, you're talking about 7 minutes.
Yeah. And
so they were saying, therefore, I'm not going to make a video that's longer than 7 minutes, because what's the point?
It's all down to algorithms. It's all down to bots. It's not a person making these decisions. So just what I've heard is if you get more than 7 minutes viewed, it does push advertisers to your that video, so
because it gives YouTube longer view times, which is ultimately
longer view times. Right? I mean, the longer that somebody is on YouTube as a platform, the better for them. And then, of course, if you're making a 14-minute video and you're aiming for 50% audience retention, which is actually quite good as far as YouTube goes.
Do we have an idea on the sort of average for mountain bike sort of channels of what a solid view time could be?
Not everybody shares their information, but from what I've seen and from what I've heard, if it is over 50%, you're doing well. Some of my videos,
And if you're around 42%,
42%, then you need to gain 8. Yeah, some of my videos that find a larger audience who aren't my subscribers, those videos, sometimes the audience retention goes down because maybe it's not what people thought they were getting. That's the other thing, you know, if you put a clickbait title in and the video doesn't match up, people will just leave straight away. Yeah, 50%. Sometimes I get 65, 70%, but that's almost unheard of. That's just when it appeals to only the people who like my videos anyway. So the broader an appeal your video's got, the harder it is to keep people retained for the full duration.
And do you think you can make up for perhaps a lower retention rate with more plays? Does that sort of balance out?
I'm not sure, because my videos that have a good retention, I get more towards the $3 per 1,000 views. So technically, I could have a video.
So directly, there's direct correlation in between.
Yeah, because it's the worth for the advertiser. People are obviously engaging and watching your video, and it means something to them if they're watching it for a longer time. So I like to have my videos quite long on YouTube so that it has an impact. And if you only watch half of it, there's a high chance that it can still be over 7 minutes.
Of course,
you know.
Yeah.
But you've got to keep people entertained for that time, which is hard. The problem really is that mountain biking on YouTube is like, it is such a small niche. You know, if I was to do van life, which I think I might, you know, that's such as a much more broader scale, traveling as well. So
there's only one sort of big player that everyone will know and hear, which is Seth's bike hacks.
Yeah.
Because it's such a small niche, but then if you moved out to some like you said, like maybe tech or travel, there would be dozens, if not more, you know, of channels that have over 1 million subscribers. You know, it's very. But that's the niche we're in. I mean, that's.
So if you want to make money on YouTube, don't do mountain bike videos.
Do
tech. Do tech reviews, anything to do with cameras. Ironically, the best videos on YouTube are videos about how to make videos on YouTube, because everybody has this
hungry for
perhaps
knowledge
false perception that you can make so much money on YouTube, so everybody wants to do it.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll do
videos. Completely. I've watched those videos as well. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, I mean, I watch them as well because it's even like the camera we're filming from just now. I watched some YouTube videos. There's a Sony A6500 if anyone's caring, and I watched the first place I go is YouTube videos. Let's see what people are saying about this camera. Is it of worth to me? And then you'll watch alternative cameras all through YouTube, and of course you're going to watch the video quite far through because you want to know as much information as possible. So
well, they say primarily it's an educational platform, isn't it? Because you go there when you want to know how to do something.
Yeah.
And we tend to be more of an entertainment. Obviously there are channels as well where they, you know, how to do this, how to manual, how to
and that's actually the best thing you can do with YouTube if you want to make money. Is people always want to have something, whether they admit it or not, that's to their own gain. A secret location that maybe people don't know about is in if it's in the country you're in or you can get to, and it's like, oh, this is a new one. You know, I can be one of the first ones to ride this place, or something to that effect, or learning how to ride. It's like I can become a better rider by doing this, and that's exactly why the how to make YouTube video ones are the best, because you can learn how to do this, and it could be of financial or even like some kind of fame gain out of it. So
if the advertising is actually so difficult to make money on, and obviously you're, you know, gallivanting around Europe, what other ways are you bringing in money? Because advertising is not enough just to sustain life for you and Alex, right?
Well, right now I make about $120 a month.
Wow.
So in
$120
and dollars into pounds, it's maybe like £85.
How many views are giving you that $120 roughly?
Yes, about 120,000.
All right, of course,
yeah. Overall, some make a bit more than $1, some make less than $1 per 1,000 views. So yeah, it works out about $120.
So what other ways can we look at? Perhaps you specifically in your case, how else are you bringing in?
Yeah, Patreon.
Patreon's a bit of an unknown, I think, because some people know exactly what Patreon is, and if you do, obviously, not a problem. But there are a lot of people who don't know what Patreon is. So.
Yeah,
What is Patreon and what can it do for a YouTube channel?
It's a different platform where you can put out, it's content creators, so that essentially that's what we are.
Mm-hmm.
You pay a monthly subscription which can be cancelled at any time.
Mm-hmm.
That's another false perception. People think they're tied into some kind of contract. Not the case. It's like a 1 month rolling contract. For me personally, I set up 2 tiers, 2 levels of payment. Now I think you can set up like 7 or 8. I don't know if there is a limit to how many tiers. So I have a $1 tier, and that provides people with a little bit more information about me, where I'm going, what's happening, maybe any kind of deals I've got or locations I'll be riding. I share that with the $1 tier. I also do like a podcast where you can ask me questions and I will answer them in a podcast form. So for $1 a month I provide that, and then for $3 a month I do all that, but you get my extended cut videos. So I will cut down the videos to maybe 45 minutes, an hour. So that's obviously extra content over and above YouTube. And then I'll also give you the YouTube cut, ideally a week before. Sometimes it doesn't quite work out, but you're getting exclusive content. I'm also thinking about doing merchandise, which is something I never thought about.
I was going to ask about merchandising,
and that brings in, at the moment, $647.
Oh, so there's a bit of a difference between Patreon and YouTube advertising.
Yeah. And I've only got 211 patrons at the moment, and I've got over 14,500 YouTubers. Right, okay. So it's small numbers, and it's for each individual. I think it's quite a small amount, but when you add it all up together, it's massive for me. Yeah.
So do you have any idea what the split is between those 2 plans, between the $1 and the $3? Like, what would be
most people are on $3. I think I have about 60 on the $1. It is about that. Most people are on the $3, and we were talking about this before. You're saying at the $1, I shouldn't have even done it. You know.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have a $1 plan.
Yeah. And here's the big thing for me. If every single subscriber just gave me 25 cents, then I would actually make some good money, and that would. It wouldn't. Sorry, I say make money.
Well, we
get more money to go back in and travel further afield.
We should probably say now that you're not actually making money, are you? You're saying if everybody gave me 25 cents, but you're not actually making any
I lose money
at all now.
I lose about £450 a month.
Right.
It's funny because I get all these comments saying, you're living the dream and stuff like that. And do you know what? Life-wise, yeah, I am living the dream. But it's a dream that I'll have to wake up from at the moment, because it's not sustainable.
When did you start Patreon, and how did you sort of advertise it to your subscribers?
I think I started Patreon at 2,500 subs, and I think I got 40 overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And
was that just you talking to the camera and saying, "I've started this"?
I done a channel update, and it was kind of heavily aimed towards Patreon, to try and kind of get the channel into the next gear, to build further. To get 40 overnight was really quite
nice feeling.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, it's flattering and it's scary at the same time, because a lot of people jumped on board, decided to help me, and they've stayed as well, which is.
And obviously, you have a closer relationship with the people that are paying you monthly with Patreon, rather than
yeah.
Because they're like privy to certain information that no one else is. Like.
Yeah, they know what's working and what's not working behind the scenes. And my plans, we also get to do Patreon rides, so I actually be heading back to the UK quite soon.
Oh, right, okay.
And I've got 3 big Patreon meetups planned, so it's nice. I can actually meet the people who are supporting me and say thanks in person and stuff like that. So it's really quite nice. Already had 2 Patreon rides on the way down, and that was really cool. Probably meeting up with most of those people again. So it's also friends, It's just like-minded people.
Yeah. All right then. So YouTube advertising, not paying a lot.
Nope.
Patreon numbers aren't big enough to fly to New Zealand.
No.
So what are the ways as YouTube mountain bike channel owners, content creators, can we try and find to bring some money in? What about you mentioned it briefly before. What about merchandising?
Yeah, merchandise. Yeah.
You've only got to go to Seth's Bike Hacks, Alex single track sampler. BKXC, they will get the gloves, the t-shirts there.
Yeah.
What about, have you thought about something along those lines, or?
Well, I asked my patrons
right
what they wanted. I had a poll of 4 options, and merchandise came out top. In my tiny little brain, I thought that merchandise, stickers, badges, t-shirts and all that, I thought that was more something that maybe the American side was into.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was something that the British were into, but it turns out they are. And obviously, of course, a lot of my patrons are American and they're all over the world. So yeah, I'll need to get my finger out and try and get some merchandise together. There's a little bit of money to be made, and it's something that I can give back. It is, when I think about it now, it's a great thing to do. It's a little bit extra money for me, although a bit of an outlay to get it all going. Then it's something a little bit extra for my patrons initially. It will come to YouTube eventually. Maybe I'll need to keep some stuff exclusive for patrons, of course. And then it's free advertising for when people are wearing these tops.
I personally love merchandising. In my case, t-shirts of brands I love and use, and I've always loved that kind of thing. So for me, it would be like a natural step. I've got my BKXC t-shirt.
That's true. I don't have a BKXC t-shirt, and that's because like it's not my thing, but maybe it should be.
What t-shirt are you wearing now?
It's just a Fox one.
Oh, there you go. It's the same thing.
Yeah. It's funny because I do wear EMTB Forums tops because Rob gave me them, and they are actually the best tops I own. So they're always in my videos. So Rob gets some nice free advertising. But that's exactly.
So should we be sending out free shirts to all the other bigger YouTube channels as well then?
I can't afford to do that.
Talking about how can we make money, but
the outlay.
The outlay is significant, right? It can be as small as you want, I guess. And it can be. You start off with your action cam and that's it. But from there it grows exponentially, doesn't it?
It's
I should probably just explain, because Andrew's been here now previously. He was here a few months ago.
Yeah.
With me, and now he's here again, and like the gear list just grows every time we see each other. So
yeah, the minimum you would need is a GoPro. Do you know what I mean? And if you're not doing mountain biking stuff,
other brands are available.
Yeah, but they're not as good.
But they're not.
If you're just doing vlogging, you can do it with your phone. You know, it's constantly, you watch Casey Neistat, he's constantly saying that it's the story, it's not the equipment. Although the equipment helps. I've got one drone now. I've just sold one to Nathan.
Might be seeing some more drone footage from now on.
And drone footage does help. It really helps with videos. Yeah. When I put drone footage in, it helps the video. But it's not always easy to do. Then we've got this Sony 6500. I think, well, what one could I get rid of? You know, do I need all this? And it's like, yeah. I don't need it, but it's so much nicer to have.
Well, I've seen the videos of Seth's and BKXC, you know, where they actually lay out all their recording gear on the table, and it's just like a table full of gear.
Well, because Brian's got several gimbals and several Hero 4s and stuff like that. I don't have. I've got 2 Hero 7s, one for Alex, although that's not quite worked out. She'll get riding in the UK. You can start with one camera.
Yeah, I started with the GoPro 4.
Yeah.
The black. Actually, I started with the silver. Then I got the 4 because I didn't realise you couldn't have the super wide with the 4K.
Oh, yeah.
And then the gimbal. It was just the cheapest gimbal I could find, and it was fine, to be honest.
My girlfriend always questions this, and I'm like, it's an investment.
It's an investment. Advertising, Patreon, merchandising. What about sponsorship? Is there a stage in a YouTube channel, a mountain bike YouTube channel, where you can start reaching out?
So there's sponsorship, and then there's brand ambassadors. So brand ambassador might be you get a product for free to use. I did get that. The only real one I've had is the Insta361X.
Mm-hmm.
Just recently, actually, Tanis with their tire inserts as well. So I get these things for free. There's no contract, there's no obligation. I don't get paid by them, but here's the product. You know, use it if you want. There's no real instructions. It's here's our products. And I think they have the faith that I will make a video and hopefully I'll like their product. So I like that. That's cool because I can just be me. This is an investment for the companies and they're seeing the value in YouTube. Unfortunately, the bigger the company gets, more towards bike companies and that.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone really sees any value in YouTube. If you get someone on Instagram with 100,000 followers versus someone on YouTube with 100,000 subscribers, the companies just go straight for Instagram. I don't know why. I think companies maybe are actually, especially bike companies, are a bit nervous that you'll be honest about the product. I think there is a change recently. I think the companies are starting to see, but I think bike companies are quite behind the times. They would much rather send out their bikes to the magazine. There's the YouTube channels who only do, well, like GMBN and stuff like that. They'll send their bikes out to them in a heartbeat. And quite often you see it's actually paid promotion. I buy products. I am the consumer, as well as someone who could potentially influence other consumers. But for me, if it says, sponsored or...
but they're legally obliged now. They're legally obliged to put that disclaimer in there.
What I'm getting at is, I don't trust those reviews. That's full-on sponsorship, and that's false. Whereas if a bike company give a YouTuber the bike to use for 6 months, then they're not obliged to say anything. They just ride the bike.
Mm-hmm.
And if they have a good experience, you know about it. If they have a bad experience, you know about it. I think companies are actually nervous that you'll get a bike and not like it, and that could wreck them. You look at BKXC, he's got almost 250,000 subscribers. He finds it hard to get a deal where he can just be honest about a bike and get it. If you look at the numbers, he's getting at least 30,000 views per video twice a week. So the bare minimum you're getting is 60,000 views for the videos that are coming out, not to mention the backlog of videos you'll have and people will just keep watching. I think there's massive value in it, but companies just don't care.
But we are talking about when a product is inserted into a program. But for example, if you were sponsored by X brand, their bike, obviously on your videos you wouldn't see sponsored by in every video because you'd just be riding their product.
But
it wouldn't be a
people
product
would say,
review.
What's your favourite bike?
Exactly. So therefore you have to make a hard decision. Do you want to make a living? Do you want to get paid to ride a
my favourite bike
sponsored?
My favourite bike is not my bike right now, is a Canyon Spectral. So if Canyon wants to send me a Spectral, I will ride your Spectral, and I've ridden it already. I do really like it. Send me a Spectral.
I want to try the new Strive.
Exactly. Yeah, do I really want to ride a bike that I do like, but it's not my favourite bike? Do I really want to stop myself from being able to be honest?
So ultimately then, do we want to be sponsored? Because if you're sponsored, it means you lose certain...
You lose honesty.
Lose honesty? Well, you lose options perhaps? You
lose options, yeah.
Because what happens if all of a sudden you want to go out and ride on an e-bike ride and the brand you ride for doesn't have an e-bike? What happens then? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Tricky, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, I actually want to avoid that. I want to have complete freedom.
So do you think it's more difficult now to start a YouTube channel than it was a year ago or even 2 years ago?
I think for mountain biking, yeah. Because you have... So Brian Kennedy, BKXC, he's the one that, apart from Nate Hills, he was the one that decided, I'm going to try and make this a career. And then so he done that. Seth's Bike Hacks as well, he went kind of mad, and then the channel went mad, so he didn't, he's fine. Before, I think it was, there's loads of people, which ones do I like, and you'd watch them all. And now it's like you've got, 5 or 6 really good ones, and then you've got like...
But there are hundreds. There are hundreds of channels out there.
I know, but I feel like right now, you've just cracked 1,000, and that's an exciting time. And it looks like things are going well, but for me, it's like I feel I've just hit the kind of the mediocre. I'm not quite cracking it, but I've overtaken some people, but I'm not growing that quickly. And I think
geography plays a part in that.
I do, yeah. Yeah. I mean,
because all the big players are American. I don't know if that is relevant. I don't know.
Well, I think it is. Yeah. So I think if I'd ridden the whole Enchilada, Captain Ahab, and Whistler, and all these amazing places in America, I think I'd be like double the size by now, genuinely, because I ride in...
Oh, you're going to get some hate on that one.
Eh?
You're going to get some hate on that one.
Well, that's my thoughts. I can get hate if I want, but I think that's the truth. I ride... So my channel started off in Scotland. If I go to Glentress or Innerleithen, I'll get good views because in Scotland that's where people go. But what I was trying to do was try to find the places where people don't go, which is suicide for YouTube, because if it's not places people go, how are they going to search for it? Yeah. So I think that's how I got a really kind of organic growth at the start, is people who just genuinely found the channel and realised what I was doing, and then kind of liked it for those reasons. But then, you know, I go to Bike Park Wales and the views are massive. You know, I go to other places that are heavily searched and my videos go quite far up.
So if you want to grow, put searchable content out.
Yeah, I mean, if you live in Whistler, by all means start a YouTube channel, because you're gonna get the views.
Not jealous.
Yeah, and also just be grateful that you live in Whistler.
I think we'll leave it there, shall we?
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
ton of solid information and I know if I had these questions, and I'm sure a bunch of people are having these questions.
Yeah.
So
Sorry to bring bad news. Get into tech reviews.
find a job
or daily vlogs, and you'll make good money on YouTube. Otherwise, try something else.
Alright man.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.